And I'm trying to use this shadow to create like facial features here, right? Like a nose here, by putting a shadow here so that you get this little nose shape. Let's get those flaps in there. I think I may have over dramified this cloth physics a little bit. Do we put her head forward one more? Let's see how far we can push this. That's a little too brutal, isn't it? It's a bit too masculine. Yeah, that's good. I don't know where that was relative to where I started, but sometimes it's like, if this is like, say you have like something that you're changing, right? This is like where you have it, right? Where you think you have it. You think you have it in the middle, right? Sometimes if you change it in a direction and it's good and you stop there, well, you don't know that it would be more good if you kept going, right? Maybe it would be even better if you kept going. Or sometimes like you'll be biased by what you've been doing. So what I do is I change it way too far forward and then I change it way too far back and then I tweak it till I'm in the middle to where I actually like it. It kind of like resets your palette. All right, hair time. So what I'm gonna do is think about the hair, the extremities of the hair on the shoulders. That's what I'm gonna be thinking about, right? So first things first, the hair is, when we talk about physics, things that are connected to things that move after those things, right? So like if I've got like a ball and I've got chain links, right? It's a chomp from Mario Brothers or whatever, right? If the chomp moves up, this chain follows the chomp directly, but this chain isn't connected to the chomp. This chain is connected to this chain. So it's not until after this one moves that this one can move, and so on, right? So they all move in succession, right? And the same happens with a head and hair, right? If the head moves down, well, the hair has to follow in sequence down. First this bit, then this bit, then this bit, then this bit, this. We'll follow that arc in like a delayed way because the energy has to be pulled along them, right? Similar to like when you see people at the gym doing those rope things, where they're like doing that with the rope and you see like the sine wave that they make travel along the length of the rope. That's exactly what it is. What I'm going to do is basically have the ends of the hair react after the head bounces. Similarly, but after. So like when the head moves up, that's when the hair is going to be down, right? And then the hair's going to come up. As the head moves down, hair's still up, right? And then it comes down. See how it's like bouncing afterward? But it's not just bouncing with the head, it's also being shifted by the shoulders, so let's factor that in. And there's a twisting going on too. And I want this to bounce. Okay, so let's do the fringe as well. Right, basically going to be completely covering her face. And then coming up. And then way above. And then still above as the head comes down. And then down over the face. And then up, way up. Way up. Down. And probably shouldn't come forward like that. So we'll... And then we can just kind of fill it in. Right? So like this goes all the way to I think her hair is a bit bigger than that. I want to preserve this nice round shape. No, see, I ruined it there. And as I was saying before, sometimes with this stuff, like, it's better to just block it in first and then figure out what needs to be done. Because it's just too hard to simulate it in your head sometimes. So I'm just doing a general shape here. And I know it's going to be wrong, but that's okay. Or it can look perfect first try as well. That could also happen. No, it's not perfect. I think it needs to be more. I think it needs to be more. Right now it's kind of staying put quite... It's being very kind to her, isn't it? Like this frame here should be like out here. Oh, I feel it. I'm starting to feel it now. Okay, we can make this a little easier for ourselves now. We can start replacing some colors. U color, go to U color. And then U color, go to U color. Okay, U. Take U, make you this color. This is like my favorite part. You get so much progress in like 0 time. Nice. Easy. She feels like she's got some real character. Like she knows what she's doing and where she's going. Hey guys, it's Adam in Post here. I thought I'd just explain really quickly. The tool that I'm using to shade all of these parts of the character is called the shader brush. It's a sub-tool of the brush tool, and you access it by selecting the brush, and then at the top of the screen you see this toolbar next to that 2px, the brush size. There's an ink well. If you click that ink well and click shader brush, it allows you to then select a sub palette, and as you stroke, only the colors that are in that palette get replaced by the colors next to it. So it's basically a way of staying inside the lines and only replacing a certain subset of colors with other colors, and you can flip it to go up or down, and I use that to shade brighter or darker. It is a really handy tool, and if you can get used to it, it will save you so much time. definitely getting there. Considering we started at literally nothing an hour 2 hours ago, I think that's pretty good. So now I gotta do these, like, basically they're like sleeve elements. And we want to give her her neck back, if we can. Look at this frame. Sometimes you do get some awkward frames through this process, right? Because I didn't sit there and draw her every frame. Remember that head was just a circle before. I didn't even bother with it. The hair bobbing is fresh to death. Thanks. Yeah, I'm a big fan of that actually as well. I like it a lot. I always like to try to check my sprites against light backgrounds and dark backgrounds when I'm animating. It just helps understand how it's going to look against those different shades, basically. You know, sometimes something looks good in one light and then looks not so good in another one. Because you never know, like, how you're going to want to use it later. Capacho says, just curious, do you use the onion skinning at all, or do you just scuff through frame by frame? Do you know what? I didn't really use it at all. I used it a little bit at the very beginning. I find them kind of distracting. What I do instead is I kind of like play through the animation, and I tweak things very quickly, and then I play through it again, frame by frame with my fingers, like... I'll do that. And that's my version of like doing, I guess, onion skinning. There we go. Oh, that's so much easier to read now. The exchange between the two legs. You can see the brighter one clearly moving front and back. Makes it way easier to track. There are certain things that I do that I think are really important when animating like any kind of pixel art, especially when you're doing it frame by frame the way I do, is allowing the eye to track details, right? So like whether it's this color here, right? You can track that color, even though it gets mostly obscured. From here through to there, you can follow it, right? It doesn't go away. If something disappears and then reappears, it can be really confused with other things, especially in this area here that's quite messy, right? There are very similar shades going on here, right? So your ability to follow this, right, this hand is really important. Now, there's a real weakness here because as these switch, look what happens, right? This gets replaced with this, and it's actually closer than where it actually goes, which is over here. So I think that's a weakness. The only thing that really saves it is the continuity of this dark sleeve, which tells you that the hand is connected to it. But even so, I would probably now go through and put a little effort into making sure that they are be more visually separate. So this is me trying to create a little more contrast between the, see that this line here separates this and this, which helps a little bit. But it's also like, you know, there's a detail here of like the cup, like the top of the arm guard, and right now that's running exactly parallel with the bottom of the shirt here. This line and this line here are getting really messed up. So it's like, how do I separate those? I think this is actually an instance where I would consider changing the anatomy. To avoid that confusion. And it didn't hurt the animation. There's still a real issue with this dark section here, and then what happens to the hand as it passes through that dark section. Like here especially, this shape becomes this shape, which is too close. So maybe again, come through here and separate them. Okay. Eye time. And with the eyes, it's very important you keep them consistent. I might even put them on their own layer. And I'll paste them in the same spot on every frame and then just move them manually. Perfect. And I'm trying to use this shadow to create like facial features here, right? Like a nose here, by putting a shadow here so that you get this little nose shape. Alright, let's fix up this hair. Alright. Is it done? Oh no. Her hair looks a bit bigger in the original. Gonna have to give it a bit of a lift. Criminally small hair on this frame. There we go. I can't look at it anymore. I've been looking at it too long. Shall we do... Maybe we'll put the gun in her hand. We'll try it in both hands and see how it goes. I'm surprised how much space we have actually. We have like heaps of space. I get to name this layer Gun. And see, doing it frame by frame like this gives me way more opportunity to play with depth than I would have if I was just to like manipulate the pixels. So like that foreshortening of the gun like facing the camera. Doesn't really look like she's holding a gun though. Should probably be more forward. That's kind of good. This one can still be a bit more over this way though. It definitely needs to come across and face the camera. Not sure she's practicing very good gun safety, but directly at the camera. I think left hand is kind of cool. Having the weapon in front works. Let's try it in the other hand. Okay, what do we prefer? Gun in that hand? Gun in this hand? Well, it's not bad. I guess I could work on it a little more. Let's just see what I can do with it. Hey pal, thanks for watching, and thanks most especially to the patrons and Twitch subs who support this channel and my game dev project Insignia. To find out more, click the links in the description below. And if you like this video, tell YouTube by clicking the like button, and then YouTube will tell me, and then I'll make more videos. That's nice.